video.
Hey everybody! Happy first day of spring. Happy lunch with the doc. We're here with Dr. Gary, my dad, naturopath, doctor of chiropractic, and we're going to talk about posture today on our lunch with the doc episode. It's going to be good. Why is posture so important? That's the question that we're asking today and that we're going to be answering. So can you give us a few quick insights?
Not only will a person look better if they have good posture, but science has proven their health will be better. There are so many things. I mean, I've got articles of scientific research about what better posture will do for your health, for your quality of life, for your immune system, for how well you age, how soon you die, how well you function in the bedroom, your digestion, your immune system. I mean,
so many
posture has so much to do with everything. I don't know if any of those things interest anybody out here, but they interest me.
I want to live a healthy life.
You know?
They interest me.
I mean, Josh, would you come on over here for a second? Just let you sit right here for a second. Now let's just go into the normal texting pose that everyone usually does. Go ahead and put your way down there. Now, do you think he looks more handsome this way? Here, get over a little bit. Does he look more handsome with his head down and forward like that? Or does he look more handsome with good posture like that? Doesn't it? It brings a smile to his face. They've actually studied emotions and found that people that had good posture, good job, way to go. People that had good posture actually felt better and their emotional state was better. I've got those studies in here too. And you know how they said that she blinded me with science? Well, I don't want to blind you with science, but I want to enlighten you with science. Hi, Boji.
This is what we love about Laguna. We're out and about, seeing all the people.
And we're here at Sapphire today. If you haven't been to Sapphire, Sapphire is an incredible restaurant.
Amazing.
If you don't want to necessarily come in and do the whole sit-down meal, you can get their gourmet shop, their pantry. You can order salads and burgers, gluten-free stuff. I mean, it's really a great place. So
it's good.
They do well, and they're willing to let us shoot our Lunch with the Doc TV show today. So posture. So
posture.
Let's see.
Very important.
How do you want to go about this, Mo?
Well, I think we should talk about why is posture so important. So, in that terms, like, what things will happen to our bodies if we don't have good posture? What will it create? What are the effects of bad posture in our bodies? And then from there, we're going to talk about how can you actually improve your posture. So what can you do with all this knowledge, realizing that posture is so important and you need to improve it? Then what can you do to do that? So we're going to talk a little bit first about why posture is so important, and what when we have bad posture, what does it really do to us?
All right. Well, let's first talk about the ideal design of the human body. There's 14.7 pounds of gravitational stress put on our body per square inch. Square inch, there's a 14.7 pound weight every square inch on every surface of our body that's in this plane, right? So the human spine is designed by God, or if you want to say by nature, evolution, whatever combination you want to throw into that. See, somebody keeps on calling you over here. But what's amazing is that the body is actually designed to carry the weight of gravity and not prematurely age. I can tell you this, that we're going to enjoy this meal.
Coming from Sapphire.
Wow,
Thank you. Look at this.
Josh, that's for you guys to share. This is my lunch.
Come get in there.
Beautiful.
In the video.
Yeah, come on in here, Josh. This is Josh French from the famous French family. Mary and Peter French, pillars of our community.
Yes,
His grandfather was Dr. French that put braces on many of the people in this town.
Yes. Not you. You never had braces. Me neither. No braces. Braces is actually a really good metaphor for your posture, because when your teeth are crooked, it creates all sorts of problems in your mouth. And it
doesn't make your smile look good.
Doesn't make your smile look good
Teeth
either.
are all twisted and crooked.
So then, to straighten out your teeth, have to go through a process, get braces. It takes time, it takes a little bit of a process, it takes some investment, and then eventually you have straight, beautiful teeth. So that's kind of similar to what we do with posture. We're going to talk a little bit about what that looks like. So, posture, it's important. What? Oh, yeah, so you're talking about design. So how is our posture designed to be?
There are very specific curves in the human spine, and they're developed as a baby starts to crawl. He develops the curve, or she develops a curve in their neck by doing this. Make sure you let your baby have a lot of crawl time. Don't try to put them in one of those bouncy things that hang from the tree just to have them bouncing. They need crawling time. That develops a neurological process called the cross-crawl mechanism. It also helps to develop the curves of the spine, the lower back, the mid-back, and the neck curve are developed through that crawling mechanism. The next thing is there, maybe the tea bag's in here. Ah, yes. We've got a
Wow, that's a beautiful teapot.
nice blend of Earl Grey tea.
Oh yeah, do we want to order lunch?
Yeah, why don't you guys go ahead and get some? This is mine. I'm plenty good here.
Okay,
So make sure that you crawl. Secondly, the curves of the spine are extremely precise. The research shows what normal is. There was a man who won a Nobel Prize named Dr. Roger Sperry, and what he found, he did brain research, and he found 90% of the energy, the electricity, the life force, the vital force that keeps us alive, 90% of the brain's energy that comes down through the spinal canal is used just to relate our physical bodies to gravity. Only 10% has to do with organ function and thinking and healing. 90%. And that's if you have normal posture.
wow.
If you have a distortion of your posture, what that means is that you're going to rob part of that crucial, critical 10% that keeps our organs healthy. You're going to rob part of that just to deal with your distorted posture. So if your neck's out here, your head's over here, or something like that, you're robbing part of your organ function, and that's what he showed. He won a Nobel Prize for this in 1980.
Wow.
So fixing your posture is gonna help your health.
That's good.
Secondly, let's just, before I get into all the science, let's just talk about, there's a lot that you can do. You know, have someone take a picture of you when you're not looking at it. You know how people used to say, you know, put your shoulders back, put your head back, you know, that kind of thing you heard from your grandmother, stand up straight. You know, they knew that people are less attractive and less healthy if you have bad posture. So, you know, heed some of your grandmother's or your mother's advice and get good posture. A lot of your posture is actually being determined by how your brain has started to hold your posture based on the injuries. They found that the average 6-year-old boy, an OSHA study found that the average 6-year-old boy had approximately 200 significant traumas in their life. About one every 10 days was a significant trauma, and we know that every time there's a trauma, there's an overstretching or even a tearing of your connective tissue, ligaments, tendons, and then there's a 3-day inflammation process, but for the next 12 weeks, that's called the repair stage, and your body lays down scar tissue to try to heal that. If it's not kept moving while it's healing, and you immobilize it, or you don't get in and massage it and stretch it and adjust it and get therapies on it, you're going to end up with a big wad of scar tissue. And in between every wad of scar tissue, there's a little neuron that when it's stretched or touched creates pain. That's why sometimes getting some of this stuff worked on can be painful. Somebody, you know, feels you got a knot in your neck or your trap here, you push on, it's like, whoa, you know, kind of like a Spock move. Spock could just make people faint.
So if someone gets an injury and they're in a little bit of pain, what should they do? What's like their go-to number one? What do they need to do?
Well, number one, you want to make sure nothing's fractured. Ready?
Yeah. We're gonna do the cheeseburger.
Sure. How would you like?
We'll do medium well. And can you do added the onions, the caramelized onions? Okay, and cheese and avocado. Cheddar cheese.
Single split.
Yeah, we're
She-
splitting.
we don't have sugar. It's for barbecue.
Okay, that's fine.
And I'll have them cut it in half for you.
Thank
Okay,
you.
thank
Oh,
you.
and just lettuce wrapped.
Okay, Nova. Sounds good.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
How is it so far?
So great.
Fantastic.
Amazing food here in Sapphire. We love it. So, they get injured.
Yeah. So the idea is make sure that during those 12 weeks you keep it moving. Now, one of my son's friends just fractured his hand. It was very swollen. He fractured his hand. Now that's not something you can keep moving during that time. That fracture has to heal. So if you've got a severely torn ligament, like avulsed, complete grade 3 separation of the ligament, sprain strain of the ligament or a tendon, means it's completely avulsed, it's going to have to be immobilized. But just realize during that immobilization of a fracture or a grade 3, you're going to have to have a lot of scar tissue that's laid down. You're going to have to work on really rehabbing it. Same way if you get surgery, they have post-surgical rehab care. Anybody that's had a knee surgery or shoulder or arm, you usually go through a 12-week process of doing rehab therapy because you had to immobilize it afterwards, and then you've got to keep it moving. Otherwise, you can develop frozen shoulder or arthritis in the joints. So,
Dang. So it's serious business. So what do some of the studies say that poor posture can lead to? Let's get out the science.
all right, are you ready?
Are you ready?
Number one, people that sit more than 4 hours a day are more likely to have diabetes, obesity, overweight, and a... Hi Jen, I'm doing a Facebook Live. I'll call you right back in just a minute, okay?
So you gotta roll with
It'll be about 20 minutes.
it.
All right? Talk to you soon. Now, also people who sat more than 4 hours a day are more likely to have heart disease and any other chronic diseases than those who sat for less than 4 hours a day. So make sure you get up from your chair, walk around, even set your timer on your clock on your phone for 30 minutes. Just get up for every 30 minutes and get up and do the hula or do like
Do the hula.
yeah,
do a dance.
Do
That's
a little
my favorite.
hula, do a little these, maybe 10 jumping jacks
Yeah,
and
a plank.
stretches forwards, a plank,
Put on
something.
your favorite song and just get
Yeah.
down.
Or, you know, even 1 minute every 30 minutes, you know.
Mm-hmm.
You're supposed to get 10 minutes of break time, you know, approximately every 4 hours or so.
Yeah.
Now, they also found that people that have slumped forward posture, how many older people have you seen that look like this? Maybe not as bad as me, but they look like that. This curvature here, I want you all to do an exercise. This is a really easy one to show it to yourself. So what I want you to do is put your shoulders back, put your head back, take a big breath in and see how much air you can get in. Here we go. Okay, now roll forward like a little old hunched over person with your head like that and try to breathe in and see how much air you get. Could you tell a difference? Yeah. Maybe a third I got. That posture has been found that people die 5 years earlier because their heart and lungs have to work so hard to oxygenate your body and your brain.
Wow.
And
That's
they're-
crazy. 5 years.
And if they have
Think
this,
what you
they're
could
more
do in 5
likely to
years.
get compression fractures, and they're more likely to be angry and pissed off as a way of being. The other thing is, poor posture compromises your immune function. That's been proven. Mueller and Giles. Mechanical pain in your spine compromises your immune function. Here's another one. This is, you talk about memory and how memory declines. This is 2016. They found that adults with proper posture showed better memory,
Ooh.
and those with poor posture had worse memory, and the posture associated with that was their heads and neck were forward relative to their torso.
Wow.
People with that posture, 2.4 times greater rate of death.
Wow. Okay.
Earlier mortality, we talked about that. Here's the one on emotions. This is 2016. They found a direct correlation between emotions and posture, stating that posture affects emotions and emotions also affect posture. An expansive posture was associated with emotions of happiness, success, confidence, and optimism, while there was an increased amount of head protrusion, shoulder elevation, and forward shoulder rolling and knee hyperextension among patients who were angry. So if you're getting angry, your posture is going to look worse.
Dang.
There's a good one.
There's a good one.
All right, how about this one? The most common thing we as chiropractic doctors see is people with loss of curve in their neck. And what they found is that people who have decreased curve in their neck, yeah, your curve should look like this, but so many of us didn't even realize it. We've had traumas. We fell off our bike. Our head went like this, or we've had car accidents, or toboggan falls,
Toboggan
or snow
falls.
ski, water ski. You know, people, I get toboggan ones all the time. Gymnastics, falling off the monkey bars, out of the tree, off your bike, off your trike, out of the diaper changing table, off the bunk bed. Your brother that grabbed you in a headlock and went like this. They found that the kids who had older brothers had more traumas than those who didn't. I wonder why that would be, Josh. You were an older brother.
I had older sisters.
Okay, you had older sisters
Just as
that
much
roughed him up.
damage,
All right. So people without loss of curve, they're going to have more back pain and more neck pain. They're going to have decreased blood flow to their brain. They're going to have more headaches. They're going to have more arthritis in their spine, and they're going to have the restriction of their vital lung capacity. Reduced curve in the low back leads to more knee pain. It leads to low back pain. It leads to a higher risk of compression fractures, vertebral fractures, and you're going to have more heartburn and GERD, which is gastroesophageal reflux disease. That's what the most over-the-counter taken thing is.
For heartburn?
Antacids.
Wow.
Second is pain relievers.
Wow, that's crazy. Okay, so that kind of shows us an overview of, why posture is so important and what bad posture does to our health. All these different side effects that come from when we don't have good posture. So at this point, you should be thinking, I think that I might want to have some good posture because it's going to improve my health in so many areas, so many ways. Not only your physical health, but also your emotional health and your cognitive function, everything. It goes to every aspect in every area. Posture is huge. So that leads us to the question of what can we do? How do we need to take care of our posture? And if we don't have very good posture, what can we do to restore it? Can we fix it? And that's a great question for Dr. G.
All right, it's my girl. She's my setup gal, my wing
Just
wing
setting you
person.
up.
Well, here's one thing they found, is that they found when you start to fix your posture and you fix the curve in your neck, it will reduce your blood pressure and control your heart rate. That's in a study, 2009. Here's what it really comes down to. It's the scar tissue matrix that distorts us. So when I do an evaluation on someone, we take a look at their posture, we measure their range of motion, we check all their orthopedic and neurological findings to see if they're normal or not. If I find that some of these things are compromised or we find some abnormalities, then I'm going to take films to try to figure out why that is. The distortions of our body are held that way because of scar tissue. And it's the scar tissue patterns that have to be worked out. So we give people very specific home care exercises. We use the latest in home care rehab, like the new Hyper Ice products, which is the Viper, which is a foam roll about this long with 3-speed vibrational motor in it. The Hyper Sphere that you can use on shoulders and backs and knees and glutes. And that's part of our home care regimen. But then what we do in the office is we say, okay, once we determine what your baselines are, we put together a plan of care. With every 12 visits, we have to check your progress, and you have to be improving to stay in our office. Why else would you stay there? I mean, we're fun to be around, and we have fun.
We're really fun to be around.
Yeah, but if you're going to invest your time and resources in a project, it has to show improvement. Just like any construction project, you have checkups, You have inspections to make sure everything's being done and gets signed off. You can move to the next stage, and that's how we do it there. Just so, like so many of my friends that are physical therapists, they've been used to doing that. The orthopedists that we work with, the neurologists that we work with, we have a great group. Don't even think about coming over and eating some of our food, Mr. Pigeon. Get out of here, out of here.
Almost knocked over the camera.
Yeah. They do the same thing, all right, 3 times a week for 4 weeks, check your progress. You got to be improving. You got to be making measurable improvement. That's the plan.
So what are some of the modalities that we use in here? Some of our research talks about how beneficial traction is and what that does. So can you kind of explain what those modalities are?
Well, at the foundation of it is addressing the soft tissue.
Thank you.
Wow, you guys are firing on all cylinders.
We're firing.
Perfect,
Thank you.
So we really treat a lot of soft tissue. So we're different than most chiropractic practices because, yes, of course, we'll always do temporary pain relief care for people that just want a couple treatments. Of course, we'll do that. A lot of people, I remember when I actually fixed my posture when I was 27, and I remember the doctor asked me, he says, so Gary, you've got chronic mid-back pain, you've got chronic neck pain, you've got horrible sinus problems, and it's been getting worse over the course of 5 years. I said, yes. He says, so why is it that you're really here? I said, well, I was hoping you might be able to help me get rid of these. He goes, oh, okay. He goes, how long would you like them to go away for? A day, a week, a month, a year, forever? What are we trying to do? I said, forever. And so therefore, he showed me how to fix it forever, what the process really looks like. And he also said he wasn't going to accept my case unless I did my part. And I knew I had some exercises I need to be consistent with. I need to show up at the office, and I need to just get over whatever obstacle was in my mind that meant that I couldn't do it. My obstacle at the time, since I was 27, is I didn't have the money. But the value of me fixing it and the value of me getting over my symptoms, my wife was really sold on the fact that she didn't want to see me suffering because it was upsetting her. And to see me suffering, and it wasn't making her quality of life any better. So she said, you got to do it. I said, well, I don't want to go into debt. She goes, look at your x-rays. Aren't you in debt already? I go, yeah. I said, well,
that's a good point.
I said, well, we could do some financing. So it took me 9 months to fix my posture. You can see my pre and post x-rays. And it took me about 2.5 years to pay it off on my Visa card. But to me, that was the best 9 months that I ever spent for my long-term health, and it was the best investment I ever made because it changed the whole quality and trajectory of my life. And all my symptoms went away in the first 3 months. Then the last 6 months was all about fixing it for good so it didn't come back. So.
And what I love about your x-rays is that you can see his x-rays are in the office, and his neck was like totally messed up, and then he restored it to perfect curve, and it's still an amazing curve after all these years.
35 years after that, my curve looks better than I did than after the 9 months.
Wow, that's amazing.
So it's doable.
It is doable.
People may think, oh, the other thing that happens is you get really bad arthritis. If you have distorted posture, you're going to get horrible arthritis. The disc is going to degenerate, the bone spurs are going to grow, and then that creates more pain. So I was able to stop it because I already showed, at 27, I already showed a little tiny bone spur, and that's gone. Not to say everybody's bone spurs are going to go away, but mine did. And the youngest patient I've ever had that showed a bone spur on their x-rays was 19 years old.
Wow.
The oldest patient I've ever had that didn't have a bone spur in their spine was 88. And it's proven right here. Dr. Marfan says that your age, your chronological age, and the amount of degeneration in your spine have nothing to do with each other.
Wow.
So I've heard a lot of patients say, oh, my doctor says, oh yeah, at your age, arthritis is normal. Well, if it's normal, why isn't it happening everywhere in the spine? Because commonly I'll see people that are almost fused or fused in 2 segments, but the rest of their spine, big healthy disc, beautiful spacing, everything. It's only happened there because that was the area that was injured. That's where the scar tissue got laid down. And then there's something called the piezoelectric effect, which means wherever the distortion is, now gravity is pushing harder on that segment. And since it's living bone, they did this in studies with rats. they took like a little vice grip, a mini vice grip, and they put pressure on the bone, and then they watched the bone spurs come into that area. So wherever there's more pressure on living tissue, magnetically your body will start pulling calcium and phosphorus into the area, and that infiltrates right into that scar tissue and loads in because the body's saying, help me, I'm under too much pressure. And so now it has to try to increase in density. And that's degenerative or osteoarthritis.
Wow.
So the process that we do, soft tissue, gentle postural adjustments. We use a technique called Graston technique, which is based off of
Just got Graston
ancient
done today.
Chinese medicine called gua sha, where they used to take big clamshells and oil, and wherever the scar tissue was, they on the outside of the skin, they go, and then you could see like almost a bruise forming, but that blood was coming through the scar tissue and helping it to loosen up and soften up. And then after we do that Graston technique, we tell people to stretch it out for the next couple of days to make it so it really starts to open up. And that's one of the favorite techniques that our patients love.
Graston's amazing. I just did it on my calf today. It was great. So that's what we incorporate. We incorporate the adjustments, the postural exercises, and home care. We have a Dental to help, improve your
Home
neck
care.
curve, your low back curve,
We
orthodontic.
also do active release technique. Dirk Ringstad was taught by my buddy Chris Barney. He's certified in active release technique. Dr. Lisa is taking courses in it. So we've got that in our belt. We also do something called PNF, which is assisted stretching, where you stretch as far as you can and then you push against resistance without moving your leg, for example, and then you relax and it stretches a little further, and then push again, it stretches a little further. So we're always trying to improve range of motion, break up the scar tissue, restore good posture, because then you're going to live a longer, healthier, better quality of life. The literature is here. If you want the science behind this, if you're questioning what I'm talking about, come get the science. It's not just me that's
Come
saying
get
it.
the science.
Yeah, I mean, Mo can show you. You get once you
I
come
will show
become a
you.
patient, you get a line into our back part of our website. We spent a lot of time and resources gathering all this research because, if you're going to invest, you got to have it based on science. It's not just someone's opinion. This is the facts. These are the facts. If you deny the facts, you're going to be stuck with the consequences of denying what science has already proven. I mean, just look around you, look at the aging population, look at it. You're like here, right? And it just gets worse and worse and worse.
This whole time I've just been like sitting so straight. I'm like, yeah, good posture, good posture.
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
So you said when you were 27, so you started to fix your back, and now 30 or so years later, it's still good.
Still
Was
good.
there like a home care that your doctor gave you that you're still doing today, and that's why it's so good, or was it your fix and now you're good?
Here's my fix, and now I'm good. It's just like you didn't have braces on your teeth, right? Some people that had braces, they went through a 1.5 to 3 year process with the braces on. They finally straightened out, and then what do?
Wear the retainer.
Wear the retainer for another year, year and a half. But then you look at it, do they have to continue wearing the retainer? Nope, because they retrained their body. And now they have a beautiful smile to show for it. Just like you'll have a beautiful looking body that would look better than if you had distorted posture, and your health will be better. That's what's in front of you. The choice is really yours, and you can do something about it. Even if you have a couple few segments or disc herniations or whatever, it's not rough and tumble old-time chiropractic that we do. It's basically coming alongside you, finding out what you want to do, why you want it, how it's affecting your life, the way that things are, and what your life would look like if you got that stuff fixed. It's like, people will lay down $20, $50, $60,000 on a car. I'm not saying it's ever going to cost that much to fix your body, but your body is the only one you get.
It's your one car you live in all your life.
Yeah. Remember that old saying,
Huh.
if you wear out your body, where are you going to live? Where are you going to live?
If you wear out your body.
Next time she'll have that.
I'll get it next time. Okay, so here's some take-home tips. So, number one,
Oh,
think about.
wait.
Whoa.
The
Text
texting
neck. I was just gonna say
All right, go,
texting neck.
go.
Okay, number one is think about your posture in daily activities. one of those huge ones being your phone. So texting neck is actually a new medical term because so many people have it. So when you're texting, you're looking down. Change your posture and hold your phone up here, and that will do wonders. Also, when you're on the computer or working at a desk, your computer should be straight in front of your face. It shouldn't be down. You shouldn't be looking down and hunching over. You should be straight up. So if you need to put books or something underneath your computer to elevate it, you should do that. Try a standing desk. They have amazing standing desks out there. And like we said, sitting is like the new smoking. So many studies show that sitting is not good for you. So as much as you can get up and move around, stand at your desk, that is going to really help you.
Sitting is like the new smoking.
Is that what
You said standing.
Oh, sitting is like the new smoking, yes. You want to stand.
But same with reading, right? You want to read. with
Oh
your butt up
yeah,
there.
same with reading. Hold it. You'll get strong biceps that way too.
One of the best things I ever got in chiropractic school was a little portable easel for my books. It just folds together like that, and I set my books right in it. So when I'm reading, I've got them at an angle like that, so I'm looking here instead of like that.
There you go. That is very smart. So do those different daily things that are going to help you. Continue, stretching is so important. You want to keep those areas that are tight moving. We say movement is life. So wherever there's no movement, it's going to be fusing. So you want to keep it moving. And then exercise is super important. You want to stay strong. You want to keep the circulation going and everything like that. But in terms of the postural distortions that you have, it's really important to know where your posture is at. Do you have postural distortions? And what does your posture look like? And that's where, we do a whole exam to determine what's your posture look like now and how can you get it to where you want it to go. And we always do a special on Lunch with the Doc for those of you who join us. So today our special is to come in and do a postural exam. You can get those answers and just see where you're at. Where is your posture at and how is it causing maybe some pain or some health issues for you?
Check out any pain areas you've got, that kind of stuff.
Any symptoms you're experiencing right now. So that is our postural exam, and we're going to actually offer that to you for our special of $97 today. So if you call in, you say, I watched Lunch with the Doc, I want to do the special, we'll give you that special. So you just have to mention Lunch with the Doc when you come in. So that's a really good place to start.
And then we sit down, once we do the evaluation, it takes about 45 minutes. The paperwork takes about 15. Try to do it in advance so you come in with it. And we'll do the exam. If I find abnormalities, I'll take the postural x-rays. If not, we don't need to. And then the next time you come in, we sit down and we go over the results. And usually people like to bring their husband or wife in with them because, if they bought a refrigerator or they're considering doing something about it, you want the husband or wife to understand what's going on and buy into it. And I found 30 to 40% faster results if there's no stress at home. Those people decided this is a great value to us. I want my wife to be healthier. I want her to feel better. I want her quality of life to be better. Or same thing with the wife saying that about the husband. And you guys can help take care of each other, make it fun to do your exercise and stuff like that.
It's good.
So anyhow, that's
Yay.
what it is.
That's what it is. So fix your posture,
Fix your health, fix your life.
fix your health, fix your life.
Fix your life.
Yeah.
You are amazing. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks so much.
Next Wednesday will be
Signing off. Next
announcement.
Wednesday.
Announcement on Monday. We will be on the radio show KX 93.5, our local Laguna radio show. They are doing a fundraiser all week, and it's the KX 93.5 takeover. So basically, people around town are going to be taking over the radio show, having their own hour shows, and we're going to be raising money for them. They're a nonprofit. They provide so many community services. They on air, they have announcements that are really important for the community. They do a bunch of work with teens and lots of good stuff that they do. So we are supporting them during this takeover. So we need your help in order to do this. We need people that will donate to the radio station. They give us such good tunes. We got to keep them rolling forever. So we need donators. So what you need to do is you can either make it really fun and be someone who calls in. So it would be Monday from 5 to 6. You would call in while we're on the show. We'd take your call and greet you and everything, and then you donate to KX93. Or you can donate beforehand if you don't want your voice to be on the phone. We're going to have a link up to where you can go and you just choose Health and Balance as your host that you're donating to, and then you donate to them. And we're looking to raise at least $500 during our hour, but we'd love to raise a bunch more. So we're going to be sharing our favorite songs on there. We're going to be sharing a bunch of health tips and just good info for living a healthy and flourishing life on there.
Listen to one of your songs.
We might be able to listen to one of my songs. I am releasing my album pretty soon here, so I could give you guys a sneak preview into one of my songs if it's ready. We'll see. But that could be really fun.
That would be really fun.
So Monday, this coming Monday, the 25th, 5 to 6, join us on the radio show. Donate, help us out. It's going to be super fun. We'll see you then. You're amazing. Bye. Okay, that one.
Good job on getting all that research together.